Hi, my name is Leah Pante, and this is my FAQ video. I'm going to start this out with a couple quick and easy questions here. Easy for me to answer, and I get them a lot. The first one is it done? A complete painting of mine is about 90% white, so if it looks like that, then yes, it's probably done. That's just what it looks like. Which way is up? If I am showing it to you, then that's the way that's up. If you purchase a piece, I will always put an arrow on the back so you don't have to worry about that sort of thing. The pieces do have an intentional up and down, so it's important that they are displayed in such a fashion. How do you get your lines so straight and skinny? I use a ruler. Don't be afraid to use all your tools. I tend to use a couple pens that I really like on top of my oil paintings. I'll link these somewhere. This is the Stradler. They're permanent, which is what you want if you're trying to mark on top of oil. Otherwise, your mineral spirits will wipe it away. The Sharpie oil point pen is permanent as well. And the Micro Perm are all awesome for drying right on top of oil paint. How do you prime your paper? My paper is hot pressed watercolor paper, so that is the smoother type of watercolor paper. It's really thick, which is why I really like it. I use a satin primer included house paint. I do this because it doesn't have any tooth in it like gessos do, and so when I'm painting with a rag, I don't get little fluffies from the rag stuck in my paintings. What are some of your influencers? Neva Waxman is a Canadian artist, and I think she is just impeccable with everything that she does. Julie Moretu is she's big time, but she's a huge influence of mine, and Gerhard Richter as well. For this second portion of the FAQ video, I'm going to talk a little bit about why my paintings look how they do and how my process kind of ties into that. So my paintings are a reflection of my current standing with faith and my desire to understand why we don't get to see a full picture. They're not just made for pretty things on the wall. I'm really trying to grapple with things when I'm painting them. So that reckoning for me begins with working on a piece using all of the skills that I have. So I'm wanting my piece to be in full color, like this one. I'm wanting to try to find a balance between organic and geometric shapes. I am going through excessive detail, spending hours on tiny marks, trying to find a balance between movement and stillness, and warm and cool colors, all the 101 stuff. And then once I deem it complete and it has all these things, I begin to put a white veil over it and end up covering about 90% of it. This process is speaking directly to the mysterious. In this activity of whiting out something that I've spent all this time making marks on, I am trying to attend to these questions like, why don't we get access to it? If I spent all of this work on making a painting, why aren't we allowed to see it? Just like if there is a God, and this God spent all of this time attending to the world, why don't we get to know how that happened? So I'm really working on a lot of those problems with my pieces. We do get access to glimmers and hints of things, and the beauty of those glimmers and hints is that those are the things that we get to build our faith on. So with 90% of my underpainting showing through the veil, you know that some work was done, but you also don't know how much was done, you don't know what quality it was, you don't know anything else. So it's really requiring my viewer to have a little faith. The final layer that you will see on all of my paintings is something that sort of looks like constellations. This is referencing how humans are looking for meaning. So if we look to the stars, we can see all of them up there, and we can tie them to each other, which they're, light years away from each other, but we tie the stars to each other, and then not only do we do that, but then we pull them down and tie them to ourselves. And I think it's just this perfect reflection of how badly humans are needing a spot in the world. So because of this process, because I'm attending to the mysterious and the unknown, this is why I really don't share a lot of what happens behind the veil. I do share a lot of tight shots, but again, not a lot of things like this, really intimate access behind the veil. The point is that you don't get to see it, and that you just have to have a little faith. This is why I'm saving my behind the veil scenes for people who are choosing to invest in me and my work and my process, mostly through Patreon. I love sharing about my work, so if you have any more questions or suggestions for a next video, please feel welcome to let me know. So thank you so much for viewing, and I will see you on the internet. Signing out.